WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Engineers say part of Route 9 in Choctaw County will remain closed for an extended period of time. This all began when a severe landslide was discovered between Reform and Sturgis Road and State Route 790. This was last week. That stretch of road is between Ackerman and Eupora. WCBI's Bobby Martinez caught up with an engineer today working on the roadway near that landslide. He joins us in the studio with the very latest. So, Bobby, can you tell us what's next?
Andrea, the road continues to get worse and worse as the day go on. And with the more recent rain that we had in the past and more in the near future, engineers saying they're trying to do all they can to make sure this road gets fixed as safe and as fast as possible.
We're concerned about the traveling public and their safety.
It is something like you'll see in a movie. A large landslide that continues to expand on State Route 9 in Choctaw County has had engineers on high alert since Friday. District Engineer Matt Dunn says it was mandatory to shut down the road as soon as they saw what was happening.
We started seeing the cracks opening up. We started seeing the horizontal displacement, which means that the road is sinking. And so we made the determination to close the road. So what we're seeing here is both vertical and horizontal displacement of the pavement. As you can see from these cracks, we have some gaps of 6 to 8 inches, plus it's vertical displacement of 4 or 5 inches. These numbers you see here what we're doing is measuring the daily movement of the road to help us better get an idea how to fix the road.
So the question now is, what is next?
Now we have our geotechnical engineers have taken soil samples, and our survey party has come in and done a survey of the area, and so now our geotechnical engineers can make a determination how best to fix the road.
Dunn also says this part of the highway will remain closed for the next several months, and he advises the drivers to make sure they do not go around this area because it can be dangerous. Andrea, back to you.
Well, the people who work at Starkville's Southwire want to help flood victims. That's why they're collecting items to send to residents in Jackson. The truck is located in the Walmart Supercenter parking lot. It's just off Highway 12 in Starkville. Southwire employees are there to help load supplies on the truck.
In order to be a leader in the wire business, you also had to be a leader in the community. We're looking for cleaning supplies, brooms, mops, buckets, anything to help with the cleanup.
Southwire employees will be on the site collecting these supplies through tomorrow at 6 p.m. A Northeast Mississippi-based ministry is helping residents in Jackson whose homes were flooded after all of that heavy rain. Our Allie Martin spent 2 days on the ground with the teams from 8 Days of Hope as volunteers help many homeowners who've lost all of their possessions. In part one of Finding Hope, we hear from some of those flood victims who say they are thankful for the help.
As Trina Blackman was packing her pots and pans, a volunteer with 8 Days of Hope was busy trying to salvage the Blackman's new garbage disposal.
Do we have something we can cut this feed line for the fridge with?
Trina and her husband Daryl have lived in their home on Cypress Trail for nearly 30 years and have seen heavy rains before, but the recent record rainfall sent the nearby Pearl River out of its banks and into their home.
And the water just came fast all of a sudden, just a few hours, it was up.
Trina and her husband heeded a mandatory evacuation. When they were able to return a few days later, their home was devastated by the floodwaters.
Ooh, look at my home, Lord.
Once residents could get back into their homes, teams with Pontotoc County-based 8 Days of Hope were on scene as part of the ministry's Rapid Response Initiative.
We're here in this neighborhood today mucking out, all right, or mudding out. They both apply, because we're actually taking all the belongings from the homes. Most of it's all going to the street, separated into piles so that the city can pick up. And then we are removing all the carpet and padding and any floors that are down. After that's completed, we start taking drywall or paneling off the walls. Then we really have to detail it very well. We have to pull all the nails, get it all nice and clean, and I mean swept and cleaned very well, so that when we come back later on, we spray a chemical in here that will kill mold.
It's easy as you drive down the streets in areas hit hard by flooding and you see the piles of debris to think of it all as nothing but trash. But for each family, each item, like this kid's drum kit, has a special memory. So to have 8 Days of Hope come in and start the cleanup process is a big help.
These are my angels, and I have told everybody these are truly angels sent from heaven, and I love all of them. They come in, they do exactly what they have to do. They're not asking any questions, and they sending out a whole lot of prayers. I mean, we have prayed so much.
Other residents, such as Pastor Betty Johnson, say the work done by 8 Days of Hope volunteers will leave lasting positive impacts.
They have truly shown the love of Jesus like never before. And they are the only agent that you see going round and round helping.
All work done by 8 Days of Hope is at no cost to the homeowner. The work builds friendships, helps homeowners save money, and it lets volunteers put hands and feet to their Christian faith. In Jackson, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
Tomorrow night, in part 2 of Finding Hope, we will meet some of the volunteers who are involved in the Jackson relief efforts. 8 Days of Hope will be working in Jackson through March the 7th. Well, Mississippi Governor Tate Reeves is praising ministries like 8 Days of Hope for their efforts to help those impacted by flooding. In an interview, Reeves said the recent floods have displaced hundreds of people who need that help. And while assistance is available from a number of government agencies, Governor Reeves says he is especially thankful for groups like 8 Days of Hope, which were rolling in as soon as the waters receded.
It really is a great time to minister because when you think about it, when people are at their lowest point, which is often the case right after a natural disaster, it becomes the best time to offer the real eternal hope, and that's the opportunity for eternal life. And so I'm glad to see that they're here, and that's one thing that we as Mississippians know better than most is that we give back, and when people in need are hurting is when we really shine through.
First Lady Ellie Reeves is launching Team Up for Cleanup campaign that will be helping the flood damaged areas there.
Temperatures right now cooling down into the 40s. We've got 49 in Columbus, 43 in Oxford and Winona, 45 in Starkville. Our Durham Pharmacy camera in Vernon, Alabama. Look at all that blue sky today. So nice to see the setting sun because we had all that blue sky. We have another system coming our way right now. If you look to the northwest, there will be some high clouds streaming on in later this evening. Already some clouds back to our northwest, and that's a moisture-starved system. So we'll see some cloud cover this evening. A slight chance for a sprinkle, maybe a flurry later on tonight as we transition into the 30s. Lows tonight down into the 30s. Tomorrow, not too bad of a Friday for us. We are looking at a mix of sun and clouds. Temperatures in the 50s. Your full weekend forecast is next.
2 men accused of using a rifle to hold up a Dollar General are in jail tonight. 20-year-old Jamarcus Randall and 19-year-old Brent Cunningham are both charged with armed robbery. The West Point Police Department alleged the 2 men robbed the Dollar General on February 15th. About $1,400 was taken during the robbery. Randall and Cunningham will have court appearances tomorrow. Tupelo police are looking for a suspect accused of stealing industrial items from a business there. The person in the video allegedly stole those items from a building on Lawndale Drive. The suspect was driving a black pickup. It's in their surveillance video here. Police say it looks like the truck has some front-end damage. If you have any information on this crime, call Crime Stoppers. 5 people, including 2 children, were taken to the hospital after a car crash on Columbus's north side. This happened around 2:30 this afternoon near 12th Street and 4th Avenue North. One car slammed into the Canterbury townhouses. Police say 2 women and children were in the black SUV. 1 man was in the white car. All of them were taken to the hospital. It's unclear right now how serious their injuries are. Students in Pickens County are getting a harsh lesson on the possible consequences of irresponsible behavior behind the wheel. What you just saw there was a simulated car crash, and it showed students what can happen when they are distracted while driving. This program is called Fatal Decision Day, and it also included activities like field sobriety demonstrations and a driving course. Organizers say they hope the juniors and seniors will keep these lessons in mind as they get ready for prom and other celebrations this spring.
This is a program we like to participate in every chance that we get, with hopes that we can deter some of the kids from participating in activities such as speeding, drinking and driving, texting and driving, while they're supposed to be out enjoying the festivities that come along with the prom season.
The program was sponsored by the Pickens County District Court and Juvenile Probation Office. Students from 4 high schools participated today. Coming up, some other area students have a chance to make connections that could help them after graduation. We'll take a look when we come back.
You're watching WCBI's News at 6 with Andrea Self.
Welcome back, everyone. Put your best foot forward. That's a big takeaway from today's mock interviews at the Lowndes County Career Tech Center. Almost 400 students were given the opportunity to sit down with industry partners. The students learned how to dress and present themselves to business professionals. Students from the Columbus Municipal School District and Lowndes County were part of today's event. Well, in the aftermath of a crime, police officers often find themselves pulled in two directions, gathering information and helping victims. That's why the Columbus Police Department is putting out the call for some help. Through a new program called Pastors on Patrol, the department will be reaching out to area clergy to help work with victims and to serve as police chaplains. There will also be opportunities for officers to help the churches with things like active shooter drills and church security.
During a time of crisis, people need spiritual comfort. Those that provide the service, such as police officers, need the spiritual comfort as well. So what we're developing here is a chaplaincy program, a program where we're asking local ministers to come in to help minister to the needs of the community.
An informational meeting is being held at this hour. We'll have more on that coming up on WCBI News at 10. All right, so picture perfect today. Can we get a carbon copy tomorrow?
Well, a few more clouds, maybe a little bit warmer, but still dry for the most part. We'll take it going into the weekend too. Because we're clear right now, we have a couple of bright objects in the western horizon right now. The moon and Venus shining brightly, but we do have some higher clouds on the way later tonight and some storms to talk about for next week. Your full forecast is next.
Your WCBI First Alert Accuweather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Pretty nice out there today, lots and lots of sunshine. Temperatures a bit on the cool side, but we'll take that with the sunshine. Here's our Alpha Insurance Camera Network. We mentioned going to break, the moon and Venus shining overhead. You can see that if you look very close at your TV there in Columbus. Tupelo, 47 degrees, 41 at Vernon, at Durham's Pharmacy, and 50 in Louisville, Mississippi right now. Mainly clear, but we do have some higher clouds coming on in from the northwest. We're calling the system moisture starved. Now, there are some showers out there in Kansas and in Oklahoma. Can't rule out an isolated shower, maybe a sprinkle later on tonight. You can see the clouds coming our way. Not really a lot of moisture expected to actually reach the ground. The air is pretty dry here at the surface, so consider yourself lucky if you see one of these sprinkles or showers or whatever later tonight. Flurries. Lows tonight will be down into the low 30s in most spots. The wind is light, so not too bad of a night. For your Friday, we start out in the low 30s to mid 30s, 52 by noon, 56 at 3 o'clock. And then tomorrow evening, we're actually going to have another one of these weak moisture-starved systems come our way. But overall, a pretty quiet day for us as we wrap up the work week. 56 in Tupelo and Columbus and Starkville, Louisville too, getting in on that 56, a pretty popular number for tomorrow. 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a mix of sun and clouds. We just talked about that next disturbance. Here it comes, and we may see a few isolated showers tomorrow evening here across northeastern Mississippi and northwestern Alabama. It looks like that will move away pretty fast tomorrow night, and as we wake up Saturday, it should be pretty sunny around here. Going into your Saturday afternoon, more or less sunny too. Here's your weekend forecast. Turning sunny, if not mostly sunny all day long on Saturday. Upper 50s, upper 60s Sunday. We start to moderate things. A few more clouds out there, but things look pretty good. We're going to Tupelo Saturday morning from 10 until noon, programming weather radios at Academy Sports. Stop on by, say hello, and talk to us about the upcoming storm system next week that could give rise to some severe weather. Also, download the WCBI News app there for the latest weather updates. Let's talk about next week. Tuesday and Wednesday, the chance for some heavy rain, 2 to 5 inches or more somewhere in the region. We don't want any rain, but it's possible. Severe weather, it's a threat here probably Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. The confidence is increasing as new data arrive here. So we'll keep you updated here on TV, the app, and also our website, WCBI.com. There's the system. An area of low pressure moves on through. Pretty active here. Heavy rains, storms. But again, stay tuned for updates as we go throughout the course of the weekend. But a stripe of very heavy rain somewhere across the deep south, the mid-south, and that is just going to be problematic here. So just another wet period for us, Andrea. So let's just savor our Friday, your Saturday, your Sunday looking okay. It should be nice to be outdoors this weekend. I have a couple of yard chores I need to get done. before the next dose of rain. But we will warm up Monday and Tuesday ahead of that system, 70s. And then once the system gets out of here, notice next Thursday back into the low 60s.
It won't be long until there'll be yard work every single weekend, and you'll be dreading it. Right now, we want to do it.
But I just got some new yard tools. I'm trying to use them or try to use them. But you're right, though. Nobody wants to do yard work.
And then when they get old, you don't care anymore.
No.
All right, playoff action continues on for high school hoops highlights from the quarterfinals when we come back.
Your WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Tonight's matchup against Arkansas means more to Mississippi State than just the final regular season home game. The Bulldogs are looking to undo the damage done Sunday night after suffering an upset to Alabama 66-64. The loss to the Crimson Tide knocked State down another spot in the AP Top 25 poll and will most likely have some effect on seeding in the NCAA tournament. However, the hope is that the loss doesn't affect how State plays tonight. MSU head coach Vic Schaefer saying he's interested to see how his team plays after the Alabama loss.
I think the proof's in the, what are we going to be like on Thursday night? And, how you respond and how you react. Really, we had some, reaction after the game. You hope that you got people in that locker room that care and that it bothers. And you hope that your response is a real positive one, and that you come back and you go to work. And so I'm anxious to see them today and see how they'll respond.
It is senior night for guard Jordan Danbury, and her career really coming full circle as she finishes her last regular season game at the Hump against the team that she started with, that team being Arkansas. The Bulldogs hosting the Hogs tonight with tip-off at 8 p.m. You can catch that on the SEC network. And closing out the regular season on Sunday with none other than an in-state rivalry against Ole Miss. The Rebels and the Bulldogs face off at 1:40 p.m. Very specific. That game available to watch on the SEC network streaming service. And if you're someone who's just ready to move on to baseball season, well, this weekend might be hard for you to watch Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Both the Bulldogs and the Rebels are playing on the road. State is headed west to face Long Beach State in a 3-game weekend series. You can watch that on the website bigwest.tv. However, the games will not be broadcasted on TV. Ole Miss has only one game available to watch as the Rebels play in the Keith LeClaire Classic in Greenville, North Carolina. Try saying that 5 times fast. You can watch the Rebels play East Carolina on the Pirates All Access streaming service. Let's get to the high school basketball quarterfinals. New site ticket on Coahoma County. Lady Panthers start with a quick run. Kalasia Phillips, the nice pass inside to Tiana McClinton. Coahoma leads by 9 after 1. New site closes the gap in the second. Lady Royals break the press. Ivy Loden all alone for 3. Coahoma up 8 at halftime. Coahoma County finishing strong in the second half. Nakia Chatham off the inbounds play. Nice post hook for the finish. Coahoma County defeating New Site 48-35. Over at ICC, Hickory Flat Girls taking on Pine Grove in the quarterfinals. First quarter, Bella jumper, the dime to Lauren Elliott in the corner. Splash. It's 5-2 Panthers. Moving to the second quarter, Panthers up 3. Kenzie Miller finds Elliott again. Nothing but net. It's 15-9 Pine Grove. And 4 minutes remaining in the half. Our Danzini Harris, the step back, pops up, knocks it down. 15-14 Pine Grove, and Pine Grove going on to get the win in this one. 56-42, knocking off Hickory Flat. But Andrea, the action's not over.
More playoffs.
I know. And so we've got half of these games at Mississippi Valley State. We've got half the games at ICC today and tomorrow.
Thompson at Mississippi Valley State tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So he's at Mississippi Valley State. Chris is at ICC. And boys and girls action intermixed going through tomorrow. All quarterfinals, all exciting, all the time.
And speaking of excitement, sure to be a lot the Hump tonight as the ladies play that last home game.
Yeah, last home game of the regular season. So especially having, we don't know what's going to happen with the NCAA tournament and whether or not there's going to be any action in Starkville. So people are going to come out tonight.
We'll be waiting to see. All right, we'll be back with the last look at the forecast. Stay with us.
Some decent weather here going into the weekend. We start to moderate, and as we warm up, guess what? More rain. We love rain, don't we?
And we don't need more rain, for sure.
Actually, it could stop raining for the next couple of weeks, and we would be good. But more rain, maybe some more severe weather. More updates coming.
Well, rain or no rain, the show must go on.
Yes, I'm just happy to see more sun on that graphic.
Absolutely.
More sun than rain, but still rain.
But the weekend looks
We're
perfect.
looking on
so
the
that's
bright
good.
side of
That's
things.
right. Glass half full, always.
There you go.
All right.
Stay optimistic.
That's the news at 6. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.